All right, Giants Nation, it is draft day, and I would really love to know what my fellow Giants fans, what are your expectations? Like, who do you want drafted? Because I'm going to tell you the players that I would love for us to draft in the first round. Obviously, I'm not going to cover all 7 rounds because most of the excitement is going to be around who we draft round one. So, a lot of the Giants content creators are now saying that there's a rumor that we may draft Drake May. I am a fan of Drake May. I wouldn't mind if we drafted Drake May, but I have expressed that I'm not happy at the fact that we could have got Drake May at pick 3 if we just traded Barkley and lose out. Like, a lot of people don't like the idea of losing because they feel like it's tanking and it's beneath us. But I remember I talked to one of my OG Giants fan who's a good friend of mine, and I said, hey, do you think there's a chance that we are going to lose games now that there's really no reason for the Giants to try with the way the season was going at the time? And then I'm not sure if this was before Daniel Jones got injured. And, my friend doesn't like Daniel Jones. He wants us to draft a quarterback. And I said, well, maybe we might lose out and get one of the top 3 quarterbacks. And he says, the Giants are too stupid to tank. And he was right. A lot of Giants fans were celebrating the Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor hype, and we won games, and then we ended up with the 6th pick, and then those same Giants fans turn around and say, oh my God, we need to replace the quarterback. We need to replace the quarterback. And I'm like, why are you even thinking quarterback when you were celebrating when DeVito and Tyrod Taylor were winning? Like, if you were thinking quarterback, like, you would have wanted the Giants to lose. Like, I know some guys in the Giants groups that they really hated Daniel Jones, and they said this is a perfect time to be bad and get Caleb Williams. And I'm not really high on Caleb Williams, but it's not the talent that I'm mad at. Trust me, I would take Caleb Williams if I could. If I was the Giants GM without having to trade up. But yeah, not a big fan of Caleb Williams in terms of his overall picture, but the talent is there, so I wouldn't be mad at if we had a chance to draft him. But yeah, I'm looking at this draft, and when I sit down and eat my pizza today and watch the draft, I don't know if we're gonna trade up or if we're gonna stay at 6, but I'm gonna go down the list of players that I'm okay with us drafting. So number 1 on my list is still Malik Neighbors. I feel like he is probably the player that we're most likely to draft. I know a lot of people are saying that we're trading up to draft Drake May. But if we stay at 6, I feel like Malik Neighbors may still be available to us unless the Chargers do something and take a wide receiver, which they obviously need wide receivers, or a tight end. People don't rule out the fact that the Chargers might draft the best tight end in the draft. So for me, number 1 is Malik. A lot of people are starting to question his character already, and maybe they're thinking he's going to be like Odell Part 2 on the field in terms of talent, but also off the field. But for me, he's still number 1. I really like him. I wouldn't mind if we stayed at 6 and we also took Rome. So Rome is number 2 on my list. And realistically, if we could in any situation get Marvin Harrison Jr., I would put him ahead of Rome. But for now, I'm just going to assume that Marvin Harrison Jr. is already gone. And so I would like to take Rome if we can't get Neighbors, or if we like Rome better. I do feel like Rome isn't going to be the type of player that's going to have any kind of character issues. Like, a lot of people would for some reason think it would be Malik. Like, in terms of, people always talk about wide receivers and being a diva. I don't get that from Rome, but I can see it with Neighbors in like a worst case scenario. Doesn't mean that I think he's going to be a diva. Rome's also big. I've always wanted a big wide receiver for whoever the quarterback is. I know a lot of you guys are upset and you feel like we need to get a quarterback in round 1 because you don't like Daniel Jones. And I don't care if you like Daniel Jones or not, because it's really not up to us. It's up to Joe. Do you still want to run it back again with Daniel Jones for 1 year? Because a lot of people who are bigger content creators have realized that, like, contract wise, as much as you guys complain about how much we're paying Daniel Jones, it's really not that bad. If you could look at Deshaun Watson and you could say, well, at least Deshaun Watson was good at some point. He's not good right now. The Cleveland Browns are actually, quarterback wise, are in a worse situation if you look at Watson's contract. And so you could shed Daniel Jones's contract next season. A lot of people are complaining about how the draft next season, the quarterbacks aren't going to be that good. But I don't know, guys. Let's wait till the next college season to see what these top 5 quarterbacks look like. Because I like Deion Sanders' son. I don't know if Deion likes the Giants or not, but you never know. So number 1 was Malik, and number 2 was Rome. And in a hypothetical situation where, we can get Marvin, he would be number 2 for me, or maybe even number 1. I would take Marvin number 1, but right now I feel like we're more likely to get Malik or Rome. So if we, for some reason, decide that we don't want those 2 players, again, Marvin Harris, but number 3, I'm going to put Drake May. So maybe they do trade up and get Drake May, or for some strange reason, Drake May falls. I wouldn't mind taking Drake May at 6. I would love that, actually, instead of trading up. And a lot of people aren't sold on Drake May, but when have you seen Daniel Jones throw a touchdown with his left hand? Because he's definitely had situations where he was rolling to his left and he can't make the throw because he's right-handed, like most quarterbacks, including Drake May. And people are upset with the fact that he couldn't pass to that guy that's on the left side of the field while he's rolling left and being chased. Drake May can do that. Now, is Drake May ready to start week 1? Probably not. And I think that's what a lot of people are upset about, but I don't care. You're paying Daniel Jones. Like, I don't know where you guys just think that you can just sit Daniel Jones the entire year and you're paying him, I think, $45 million next season. No, he'll play. He'll play. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, but he'll play. So Drake May, I don't know if we draft Drake May what the plan would be, if he would play next season at some point, but you would like to think yes. But ultimately, we're drafting Drake May in a situation where he's available going forward. We're not talking about next season. A lot of you guys only think about next season and don't think about the seasons after next season when we're officially done with Daniel Jones. Like, you guys want to be done with him while still paying him. It just might not work that way. And so Malik Neighbors, Rome, Drake May, number 3, I'd be happy with that. Now, a lot of people do think that there's a chance that Daniels might be available, but I don't think so. So I'm not going to put him on my list. So if those are the 3 guys, I'm trying to think about anybody else that I'd be okay with us drafting at 6. At 6, I wouldn't honestly care if it was Brock Bowers, to be honest, because I don't know the situation with Darren Waller. I don't think some people are saying that he may retire. I don't know if he's retiring. I heard he just got divorced. So who knows where his headspace is. I wouldn't mind taking Brock Bowers. We need a weapon. We don't have any weapons at all. A lot of y'all say we need a quarterback. No, we need a weapon. We need somebody to throw to. So I wouldn't mind taking Brock Bowers. That would be my 4th guy in terms of guys that I would want, especially at pick 6. Now, I will never be okay with J.J. McCarthy at pick 6. Some of you guys are okay with that, and I think you're mad. I think J.J. McCarthy, a.k.a. the quarterback that was handing off the football, I don't think he's a bad quarterback or he will be a bad quarterback. I think most people just believe that J.J. McCarthy needs some time and probably wouldn't play at all next year and probably should not play. So, we can draft him, but I wouldn't like it at 6. If we went back and got him, I'd be fine with that. But yeah, J.J. McCarthy is a no for me. So those are the 4 players that I wouldn't mind at 6. But if we're going back in the draft, I would actually put Michael ahead of J.J. McCarthy. But either one works for me. They're both interchangeable at 4 or 5. It's just that I'm putting them at 4 or 5, but I don't want them at pick 6. I've seen Fisk come out and say he want Michael Penix at 6, and I'm like, bro, what are you smoking? Like, I don't want Michael Penix at 6. I don't want J.J. McCarthy at 6 either. I feel like we can go back and get those guys. Now, J.J. might actually, there's a chance that if the Vikings don't trade with New England, J.J. McCarthy might be on the Vikings list, so maybe he won't be available, but that's fine with me. I'll take Michael if J.J.'s not available. So I don't know. You guys tell me who you guys would be okay with drafting tonight. I will say this, though. If we draft one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, I'm not going to like it. But, if you think about when you're sick and somebody gives you Robitussin, you don't like it, but it works for you. and it's for the better of you. So if they feel like they want to draft an offensive lineman, I wouldn't like it, but I would understand it more so than taking Michael or JJ McCarthy at 6, or even trading up for JJ McCarthy. The worst thing we can do is trade up for JJ McCarthy. A lot of people saying the worst thing we can do is trade up for Drake May, and I disagree. I feel like Drake May, I think Dable can work magic with him. I think if we give Dable time and don't fire Dable and Joe next season, which we should not. There's no reason why we should fire Joe or Dable. A lot of people are saying that if they don't get this pick right, they're going to get fired. And I disagree with you. I disagree with you because if you're saying that because you don't like Daniel Jones and how the Daniel Jones situation played out, that's really not just on Joe Schoen. It's more so on John Mara as an owner. So I wish he better not fire my GM and my coach, because he's the one that's backing Daniel Jones along with Eli Manning. They should not get fired next season. I don't care what happens with the Giants. This is why we would be terrible. If they fire them, knowing that they're the main backers of Daniel Jones, and y'all are going to blame Daniel Jones for the mess that the Giants is currently in, and not so much, the bad GMing of Joe, which honestly, you can't say he's a bad GM yet, because a lot of the players that he's drafted, you still have to give them time to develop. So you don't like Daniel Jones, and if you feel like if we don't get a quarterback in the first round, Joe's going to be fired, or Dable's going to be fired, then you're an idiot. And the Giants organization would be idiots if they do fire them, because this whole mess, the guy that you don't like, Daniel Jones, it's on Eli Manning and the organization, because they're the biggest backers of Daniel Jones, not us, the fans. No disrespect to the guys that like Daniel Jones, but we don't matter. They don't care what we think. FYI, when I say that the Giants don't care about us, they care about our money, and we're still spending our money. So even if you're unhappy about Daniel Jones, and if they don't draft a quarterback and they're going to start Daniel Jones, a lot of you guys are already purchasing merchandise. You already got your season ticket. I know a bigger YouTube channel that is a open Daniel Jones hater has the club, and he's already got his season ticket. So they already got you. So they don't care. They got the money already. And so I feel like Joe may not think that Daniel Jones is the ideal quarterback. However, due to external things like the owner, John Mara, and liking Barkley and liking Daniel Jones, he now has to deal with the consequences of not trading Saquon Barkley. You guys are screaming that you want a new quarterback, but you trade Barkley, you're in a better predicament to get the top quarterbacks in the draft. And I'm going to keep telling you guys that until you understand it. Yes, you can trade up, but this team needs all their picks, in my opinion. Like, we need more talent. So you trade up, you're giving up a pick. And so, again, people don't like tanking, but you retain your assets. You don't have to trade up. And that's the reason why we're taking the L in this draft when we have to draft up. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's a short-term L because you get the quarterback that you want. But it's just like, damn, man, we could have just gotten him by just trading Barkley, a.k.a. the trader. Benedict Barkley. And I can't believe some of you guys still like Barkley, but that's a whole nother video. I don't understand some of you Giants content creators, and obviously you guys are real Giants fans, but at the same time, I'm not rocking an Eagles Barkley jersey. That is preposterous.